The Jewish and black people in the United States have always had a linkage or a sensibility to one another that has meant we have often been in the same struggle for change. I have known this probably all my life, since at least high school. In terms of the politics of things, I have known that for 100 years, in the presidential years of our elections in the United States, the Jewish community and the black community have voted always on the same side. We both know what it means, what it is meant to be in the United States with an invitation to be here that is hostile. And if we have not thought that there was a wide enough difference between two presidential candidates, we knew on which side we had the better chance of continuing to dismantle the hostility and to allow the United States to become more of the country it needed to become. The school decision of May 17, 1954, where for the first time Thurgood Marshall and the NAACP got the Supreme Court to make a unanimous decision that segregation does not permit equality. Jim Crow law obliterates the possibility. Segregation law and spirit and custom is in contradiction to the Constitution. That between 1789 and May 17, 1954, the Supreme Court has only given largely negative decisions to black people, to women, to Asian people, to Indians. So that Supreme Court decision of 1954 is what caused the emergence in many ways of a new spiritual awareness among all kinds of black people and Jewish people. We knew in the black community that the Eurocentric communities in the United States were largely too supportive of anti-Semitism and racism. I knew that. Our most important allies, I think this can be said, the most important allies for the nonviolent movement of America, 1953 to 1973, and the most important allies in the South, where I lived for 17 years and worked directly with Martin Luther King Jr. in the development of that movement. Our most important white allies were Jewish people. The Black Lives Matter demonstrations from May to August in 2020 have been studied and are being studied by scholars worldwide. And there is now the very clear knowledge from that so far, and it's still going on, that Black Lives Matter is the largest nonviolent campaign in the history of the United States. It is evolutionary from the 20th century. It's organic. It has produced close to 8,000 demonstrations in more than 2,400 places in all 50 states, and has been, according to the scholarship, 97% nonviolent. There are these young white men who are weaned on USA culture violence. And they think that nonviolence cannot do the job. So they come out in Los Angeles to demonstrations that the rest of us have created, and they preach nonviolence. And I've even had a couple tell me, well, we have to face the police arm in arm and do wrestle with them on the front line. And I've done any number of workshops on nonviolence with our creative groups working against that stuff. Abusing each other and beating up on each other and destroying each other does not allow for the human race to flourish in the fullness of humanity. What happened January the 6th, our systems of life must teach that group of people that democracy requires character, a serious study and wrestling with issues, and language of conversation that allows us to solve issues and live together. That the gun and the bomb and the tear gas will not allow us to develop in the 21st century. The USA people need to recognize that the underside of love is justice and building a community where human freedom can be practiced and can be enjoyed.